Welcome to Hero Villains. In your opinion, who would win? Saitama from One Punch Man or Doomsday? Saitama is an ordinary man living in Z City, but after 3 years of following a training routine so strange it seems impossible, he reached unimaginable strength. Known by the nickname Bald Saint, he can defeat any opponent with a single punch. His speed breaks every limit, his strength has no end, and his durability is nearly absolute, making him a character that is almost impossible to measure. What makes him even more unique is that Saitama always keeps a calm attitude, sometimes even bored because he is too strong. Doomsday, on the other hand, is a nightmare born from an ancient Kryptonian lab. He was created through countless cycles of death and rebirth, allowing every cell in his body to adapt and grow stronger, faster, and nearly immortal. His power is enough to go toe-to-toe with the strongest heroes like Superman, and his ability to evolve during battle means every attack on him becomes another step that makes him even stronger. When these two characters face each other, Saitama brings absolute strength delivered in a simple but overwhelming way, while Doomsday represents pure brutality and endless evolution. Before we dive into the analysis, make sure to hit the subscribe button and remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you all so much. Saitama, often referred to as the bald guy in a cape, has become a symbol of absolute strength in his universe. No one knows where his limits are, because every time he strikes, his opponent turns into the past before they even understand what happened. What sets him apart is not a mysterious energy source or some supernatural weapon, but his own body. Saitama can unleash punches strong enough to make space tremble, leap to heights that seem impossible, and move so fast that enemies only see a faint afterimage behind him. He has unbelievable agility, almost limitless stamina, and reflexes that break the boundaries of physics. His senses are so sharp that he can feel danger before it even forms. His body is immune to extreme temperatures, can survive in a vacuum, and maintains full combat performance under the harshest conditions. The most terrifying thing about him is his calm expression. Attacks powerful enough to wipe out the mightiest armies only make him frown slightly, as if they were nothing more than a passing breeze. For Saitama, fighting sometimes feels more like boredom than a challenge, because he has never met an opponent who could push him to take things seriously. Saitama's abilities always surpass expectations. With a single jump from the moon, he launched himself back to Earth in less than 20 seconds, so fast that even the speed of light feels outdated as a measurement. In the moment Saitama raised his hand to stop a meteor, he generated an enormous amount of energy, reaching 202 trillion 176 trillion joules, enough to erase an entire sky if someone else had been the one handling it. Some even believe that if he ever decided to throw a serious punch, a star could disappear from the sky instantly. The incredible part is that all these feats happen while he stays completely unfazed, without even a drop of sweat, as if the universe were nothing more than a light warm-up. The harsh truth is that Saitama has never shown his full power. He is too indifferent to care about it and has no interest in finding his real limits. Trust me, if one day he becomes more serious, what we see now may only be a faint shadow of a power far greater waiting to be revealed. In One Punch Man, God is portrayed as a dark force that constantly nurtures the desire to wipe out humanity from the universe. He places an invisible limit on all forms of life, restricting how strong they can become. However, there are times when souls so obsessively consumed by a goal or a fear manage to break through that barrier. Once that limit is shattered, they transform into mysterious monsters, carrying uncontrollable power and a destructive instinct that nothing can stop. But Saitama was different. He once had limits like everyone else, but his overwhelming desire to become the strongest hero, combined with a training routine that even he considered ordinary, created a major paradox. His limit was not broken. It was erased completely, as if it had never existed. That moment turned Saitama into a one-of-a-kind case, possessing strength capable of turning even the most terrifying monsters into nothing but scraps with a single accidental punch. He reached a point where his speed, endurance, and durability seemed to have no end. Bloody battles and attacks strong enough to level entire cities do not even change his expression. Saitama has proven many times that his power is beyond anything people expect. What is even more impressive is that his attacks are strong enough to finish off an opponent who can regenerate almost instantly. Challenges like these do not bother him at all. He once stood calmly in the middle of flowing red lava, treating it like warm water. In a fierce battle, Garou knocked him back down to Earth with an impact strong enough to push back an entire section of the ocean and shake a spatial seal. Yet Saitama simply stood up, brushed the dust off, and kept walking as if nothing had happened. He easily outpaced Flashy Flash, a hero praised as the fastest on Earth with a speed comparable to light. Saitama always leaves a powerful impression whenever he faces forces no one else can resist. Boros' planet destroying cannon had enough power to wipe out the entire surface of Earth, but Saitama only needed a single serious punch to cancel it out. He even unleashed a punch strong enough to destroy one of Saturn's moons, making the surrounding space rumble like torn thunder. When fighting Garou in his all-knowing state, Saitama reached a level where his punches tore apart hundreds of stars, generating an energy output calculated at 8E plus 55 joules, equal to the destructive force of a multi-layered solar system. That amount of energy is enough to erase about 17 million stars, and Saitama still had the power to fight evenly against awakened Garou. And every time he strikes, people feel even more clearly that his true strength is still a mystery with no visible end. I really hope you will. Subscribe to the channel, it helps us a lot, and you are the best. Thank you so much. Doomsday carries a brutal origin, born not from nurture but from endless suffering. He was created through an inhumane cloning process, where an infant was thrown into the harshest environment prehistoric Krypton ever had. Each time he was killed, he came back with a new adaptation, becoming immune to whatever had defeated him before. That constant cycle of death and rebirth forged a creature that is nearly impossible to destroy, a being whose every breath is proof of extreme evolution. Doomsday's power reaches a level that makes even the universe wary of him. He once tore apart a dimension inside the Phantom Zone using nothing but brute strength, something only a handful of beings could ever accomplish. A single punch from him was strong enough to break Wonder Woman's arm, even though she possesses divine strength. On the battlefield, Doomsday easily overwhelms humans and even mighty alien warriors like Kryptonians, who draw strength from sunlight. He can bend reinforced steel, pierce through barriers considered unbreakable, and lift enormous objects as if they weigh nothing. Trees, structures, and even solid buildings are uprooted or crushed with only a few simple motions. Even more terrifying is the fact that Doomsday has fought and defeated some of the strongest superhero armies, including the Justice League and the Green Lantern Corps. He is the embodiment of pure destruction, a force that never stops evolving and always returns stronger after every fall. Doomsday cannot fly, but his legs are so powerful and durable that he can launch himself across great distances like a massive arrow. Superman quickly noticed this trait and tried to keep him suspended in the air to limit his movement. He even threw Doomsday into a deep lake to slow him down, though the effect was only temporary. What makes Doomsday truly frightening is his limitless evolution. Anything that once killed him cannot do it a second time. He immediately adapts, recovers, or becomes completely immune to that threat. Doomsday survives in the harshest environments, from the vacuum of space to unimaginable gravitational storms, and he needs no oxygen or nourishment to live. His regeneration is so fast that most wounds vanish almost instantly. Over time, Doomsday's body shows no signs of aging or weakening. It is unclear whether this is due to his rapid regeneration or some other unknown mechanism, but one thing is certain: he exists as a form of immortal life, untouched by time or decay. His skin is so thick that bullets, missiles, lasers, and even bombs slide off without leaving a mark. There were moments when he even withstood Darkseid's terrifying Omega beams, something very few warriors in the universe could ever endure. Doomsday becomes even more terrifying when he enters his growth phase. He drains all the energy and life around him, turning everything into fuel to boost his strength and speed up his next evolution. Each time this happens, he returns more frightening, stronger, and harder to kill, like a nightmare that never ends. Doomsday is the embodiment of perfect adaptation, a being who constantly turns combat experience into new weapons. Whenever he faces a form of attack, he remembers it and immediately learns how to neutralize it. There was a time when Superman tried using a sonic gun to paralyze him. The effect lasted only a moment, because right after that, Doomsday's ear canal closed itself, making the attack useless. Waiver Rider once immobilized him with temporal energy, but the second attempt completely failed because Doomsday had already adapted adapted and became immune to that power. What makes him even more frightening is the surge of power he releases right before death. In his final moments, he can emit a deadly toxin capable of killing anyone nearby. Even Superman could only withstand it for a short time before collapsing under the overwhelming pressure. The toxic mist does more than destroy. It can transform those who breathe it in, turning them into monsters with traits similar to Doomsday. The moment Superman killed him for the first time, the consequences were far worse than anyone expected. Doomsday imprinted his essence into Superman's genetic code, causing Kal-El to undergo horrifying biological changes. His body began to deform, slowly taking on the characteristics of the very creature he had destroyed. Doomsday is not just a threat of raw power, he is a living curse. A shadow that spreads wherever he goes, leaving behind transformation, destruction, and fear that never fades. Doomsday is infamous for his terrifying durability, strong enough to endure super-powered battles for months without weakening. He once fought Superman across Metropolis for many days, creating a destructive storm so intense that even the Man of Steel had to fall to his knees under his relentless assault. His claws can extend into sharp blades laced with deadly poison. When Doomsday's body is pushed to its limit and destroyed, he does not vanish but dissolves into a thick black mist that can invade those nearby and merge them into his being. This infection is so powerful that it can even affect Superman, creating a horrifying form known as Super Doom. Doomsday himself can create or inhale toxic fumes strong enough to injure Wonder Woman during the New 52 era. After evolving to fight the Radiant, he gained the ability to manipulate energy. Doomsday can absorb energy from any nearby source, control entities made of pure energy like the Radiant, and release that power as destructive blasts. These energy beams can be fired from his hands or burst outward in shockwaves from his body. Even more frightening, he naturally emits heat. All of this power makes Doomsday not just a destroyer, but the embodiment of ruthless evolution. A nightmare that always finds a way to become more dangerous every time he is taken down. Doomsday is fully capable of taking down Saitama, and I do not care how many One Punch Man fans jump in to argue with the usual lines like, Saitama can beat anyone with one punch, or Doomsday would fall to Saitama sooner or later. The truth is that no matter how strong Saitama is, Doomsday has faced beings far beyond him, entities with enough power to shake the entire universe. Even Darkseid's Omega Beams, one of the deadliest abilities in existence, could not bring Doomsday down. This monster stands firm against destruction that goes beyond imagination. He does not flinch, he does not fall, and every time he is taken down, he simply comes back stronger. Doomsday is not just a test of strength. He is the embodiment of immortality and extraordinary adaptation, a being that every warrior, no matter how great, must fear. His endurance and evolutionary abilities force any opponent to hesitate. He is a living nightmare, where each battle is not just a clash of power, but a reminder of how merciless and unstoppable he truly is. When you stand against him, even punches that seem unbeatable start to look meaningless. Even though Saitama has incredible power and can perform things that seem impossible, he is still a human being. His abilities, no matter how over the top, are still influenced by his human nature. Some versions of Doomsday, such as the DCEU version, have instantaneous adaptation. After only a short time, punches that should have crushed him become useless because his body has learned how to counter them. When Doomsday killed Superman in this universe, that was not even the ultimate version of Doomsday. The real one still exists out there, strong enough to destroy Krypton's moon and tear apart entire planets. If the incomplete version could adapt almost immediately, imagine the terrifying power that the true version possesses, a being who is almost impossible to defeat. Saitama can throw a serious punch whenever he wants, but to Doomsday, every attack is just another lesson. He adapts to every hit, making even overwhelming power meaningless. In the eyes of those who face him, Doomsday is not just raw strength. He is the embodiment of constant evolution that cannot be stopped. This adaptation is what turns him into a living nightmare, where even the strongest blows are just opportunities for him to grow more dangerous. Saitama may be able to beat any monster with a single punch, and maybe he could defeat a monster like Doomsday, but Saitama has never fought anything like Doomsday, a creature who can adapt and evolve instantly to anything that harms him. He can grow resistance to an attack and then return even stronger. And Doomsday has never faced anyone like Saitama either, someone with truly overwhelming power. There is a strong chance Saitama could punch Doomsday with enough force to exceed his ability to adapt and take him down with a single hit. hit. Or if Doomsday survives the first punch, he would evolve resistance to it, which means Saitama would have to hit him harder and harder until Doomsday could no longer adapt to the rising level of power. Doomsday becomes immune to many things that kill him, but to others he simply becomes more resistant. In cases like that, Doomsday would revive stronger. Then, Saitama would just have to hit him harder again. Repeat that 5 times. Now Saitama would have to use his normal consecutive punches. Repeat it many times, and eventually Saitama finally gets what he has always wanted. A real fight. But in the end, Saitama wins. Repeat it twice more. Saitama struggles to beat Doomsday. Doomsday comes back again. Saitama struggles even more but still manages to defeat him. He revives once more. Saitama realizes he should be careful what he wishes for, and maybe it is better that no one out there is strong enough to challenge him when he is fighting to protect people from Doomsday. If Saitama does not lose this battle, he will lose the next one. After all, this is the monster who killed Superman. In the end, the one who stands victorious over is Doomsday. I hope you enjoyed this battle discussion. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like this kind of content. That is the video for today. Thank you so much.